Hi, everyone. Vegas Film Critic here, and we are at a very special interview today. We're in the Elvis Suite here at the Westgate Hotel. I'm here with Jonathan, executive producer and editor of the new epic Elvis in Concert. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Well, I saw the movie last night. Just incredible. Just to give you, a little background on me, I was born and raised in Las Vegas. I grew up maybe a mile or two from here. And in the 70s, my family, we saw Elvis here at this hotel about 4 or 5 times. So my sister has the scarf. She has all the programs. Thanks, Tammy. She won't let me touch them. She wouldn't let me bring them in today. But I'm just saying the king has come home, hasn't he?
He really has. I mean, it's so poetic to be here now, showing the film, bringing him home. He built this town. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
And this is also from director Baz Luhrmann. And, Baz, I think, personally has kept the King's memory alive, because all the young people today, it's about Michael Jackson, the king of pop. But I think his dedication to his music, he's got a whole new generation of fans. And now we get to see Elvis from the 70s, which is kind of like we don't know what happened after his Hollywood career. We hear about him coming to Vegas, but now we found all this incredible footage. Was it next to the Ark of the Covenant? Where'd you find this footage?
Myself and Baz kind of really joked about doing an Indiana Jones kind of deep dive into the salt mines in Kansas. But yeah, kind of when we were doing research on the movie Elvis, Baz heard about this footage in the archives, and we pulled out 59 hours worth of footage, got it all scanned at 4K, and we were just kind of blown away. We were initially looking at it to incorporate it into the movie, and we did use little bits of it in a kind of subliminal way, blink and you miss it in montages and stuff like that. But it became apparent very, very quickly that this footage was incredible and deserved his own project.
And you also hear Elvis in his own words about the struggles with fame, with family, with everything. I mean, he got really personal. So the voiceovers he's in this really complement the music too.
Absolutely. I mean, when we found this footage, we knew we wanted to do something, but we didn't really know what. It wasn't until later that we found that these interviews of Elvis talking about his life in his own story, or in his own voice, and that kind of really unlocked kind of what we ended up doing. A lot of what he says is stuff that if you've read the books and you've seen the movies and documentaries, you kind of know a lot of these things already. But hearing Elvis say it in his own voice is so much more emotional and powerful.
I was surprised at his sense of humor throughout the documentary. I know he liked to have fun, but he was also very professional. But man, he loved to have a good time, didn't he?
He really did. He was a total goofball at times with his band and his friends, and that was something that we really kind of leaned into. We kind of coined this expression: "It's in the cracks you see the light," because he was such a professional performer, and he was very used to cameras, and but it was in those little in between moments where he was chatting to the Sweet Inspirations or goofing with his friends that you kind of really see the man himself.
I went to film school here at shout out to UNLV, Department of Film, and I love editing. And as the film editor on this film, you had the gargantuan, impossible task of taking that nearly 60 hours, and I kept seeing cut after cut, and it's a masterclass in editing. So did you have a lot of sleepless nights, or how did you even tackle this?
Tackle it by cutting everything. So the movie is like roughly 90 minutes long, but I cut hours and hours and hours worth of concert performances, because you have to work out, what are the best ones, what goes with, smashing 2 or 3 together. So, but it's kind of my idea of a good time. Elvis is an incredible visceral performer, and the music was cool, and it didn't feel like hard work.
Also, I hear Peter Jackson was involved with this. What was his role in the movie?
Peter Jackson's company, Wingnut in New Zealand, has really kind of, they're the gold standard of film restoration. So when we pulled this footage out of the salt mines and we scanned it all at 4K, we were very much starting from a good place. We projected in IMAX and it kind of looked cool. But Baz didn't want this film to feel nostalgic. He really wanted to feel as fresh and kind of modern and vibrant as possible, electric. And Baz got in touch with Peter Jackson, and his company has this kind of film restoration kind of process that he pioneered for the Beatles films that he did. And their company was really the icing on the cake in terms of freshening it up.
I would say, and finally today, I loved how he sang contemporary hits at the time in the early 70s. He sang some of his new hits, his new songs, and Beatles songs. He had Yesterday and Something, and the only thing I really remember about seeing Elvis was that he closed the show with Suspicious Minds. And so as I was parking in the garage today, walking to the hotel, Suspicious Minds started playing. I am not kidding. Yeah. And also I knew in the movie when he sang that, it was towards the end. So do you have a favorite Elvis song?
That's an impossible question. It really is. There's so many. But Suspicious Minds, Can't Help Falling in Love with You. You know, there's too many. It depends on how I feel, what day of the week it is. You know, he had so many hits.
And he, you know, after watching this documentary, this concert film, I thought there is never going to be anyone like him. I mean, he is the king. The way he moved, the way he sang, the way, just who Elvis was, and you guys just capture his final part of his career. It's just incredible. So I appreciate your time today. Good luck with the film. And from the Elvis Suite, Jonathan, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's got to be like the first time we go on. That's one of the secrets.